Do my second sander, similar to the first, to space out the cover so the belt doesn't grind through when full vacuum applied. This one I welded in the flat bar, you look at the previous video, and then screwed the cover to it, both sides. This one I'm going to do the same thing, except I'm going to weld this piece of 10-inch flat bar in there. Instead of screwing the cover on, I'm going to screw or pop rivet a piano hinge and weld this side to that flat bar, so that the hinge or the cover will hinge to get change belts. A lot of details to do, but that's the start. Ground off the little tabs on the right side, or left side I guess. I'm not sure about these yet, if I need to or how I'm going to pin it. Proceeding. Okay, flat bar's welded, got the hinge mounted. The plan was this was going to, cover was going to butt up against the flat bar, and the hinge welded to the flat bar. It's really kind of close for welding. I was going to use screws. Here, as I can tell, about where the belt's supposed to be. Might have enough distance. Details. And hinged. Screws I end up cutting to a 1/4 inch length, so the belt hits, it'll be on the flat bar. Has some latches on order, little clip latches. All I need to do, bottom I don't need to do anything. It's going to be flush against the plastic. Well, a piece of 3/4 inch flat bar, it'll be the stop. Seal up the edge, cut this off, and then trim the edges of the cover and fold this over to close off this gap. Slide the belt off. You just have to work it around the bottom cover, which is minor. Few details. The flat bar on the right side, and grind this back a little bit. There's a double piece of sheet metal on the frame, and the top where the roller bracket slides up and down. Had to notch this a little bit. And the same on the left side. And the hinge is clipped to fill this gap. What else I'm forgetting? I've got the top cut.
I may have to trim it some more. It's about a 1/16 of an inch away from the belt. I don't know if that's going to be enough or not. And a little backtracking. I don't know if it's going to show, but this piece of metal is flexing. When you tension the belt, and they were pretty cold because I didn't want to burn the paint, but it didn't stick to the flat bar. But this may be an issue. It's going to work the spot welds to the case. I'm going to weld a little piece of flat bar across to stiffen this, grind all these out, and spot weld the flat bar in. Well, I decided I needed to take the tension off of the roller assembly so I can clamp this flat bar flat. There's quite a bit of bow in there. Plus it's kind of in the way, the bracket. Releasing the tension is pretty easy. Just bring down the roller and put a clamp on there and then drop the handle, and you can take the handle off and slide the assembly out, handle back in, because I'll have to use the clamp to pull it down. It's a pretty strong spring, so that's what I'm going to try. Okay, using a little right angle to get some leverage, and a screw. Oh, it broke. It's loose. Okay. Tension up. Put the clamp on it to hold it. Drop the handle. Cool. Yeah, that's a long screw. Whoop, something fell. Yep, pulled the old one apart, and there was a little spacer that goes inside that hole, and it's black. I can reuse this one. Kinda don't want to, because I have looked all over and I cannot find this little spacer. Wraps. And then release the clamp, and this should go back out. And the trick's gonna be is using the clamp to get it back in. Whoa. There we go. Easy as that. Re-welded that. Got the flat bar in there. I haven't set the spring back in yet. My little latches showed up. The spring over. I've got these in there. These will get riveted to the case, which will be pretty minor. This, because of the rivets, had to cut, but it's still, oops. And I put another tab because I may put another support. Onward. Sockage. Is that in your frame? I guess.
barely, sort of, kind of. I don't know how many people would have a reason to take this thing apart, but this little bushing, the one I just dropped, be aware of it. That's what I can say. If it spun, I kind of see it, but it doesn't. Suckage. Yeah. Got little latches installed, but they work really well. And the flat bar stop gap filler thing, I had to notch the rivets don't stick out that far. They're about flush with the inside of the flat bar. And these little guys, I'll add a link to what I used, but if you pop the little spring arm up between the handle and the bail, anyway, I released that spring tension, so it just makes it easier to place these, mark them and drill them. I riveted, it's just simpler. For tensioning, you want it snug just before the handle goes over center. It's a little fiddly, but you can fine tune it by bending this little arm just ever so slightly in and out to adjust it if you need to. But if you slide it with the handle open till it's snug, it should be close. Anyway, it's a little tight getting the belt back on because of the width of the, I rounded the top and bottom of this flat bar, but it's a little tight. It would be really easy if I removed the bottom plastic, which you normally did, just to get the belt in between there. A little fiddling, but it'll go on without it. Just one less thing to do. But versus removing the 6 to 8 screws, done. Latch, release the tension. I don't know why it seemed like such a big deal to unscrew the cover, but it did. And since I was spaced it out anyway so I could run full vacuum, making the cover hinged. Oops. I'm loving these little guys. Put it back together. And the tracking was way off. The only thing I can think of is because I was clamping on this side and it just has a center pivot on the bracket. So I clamped it a few times on this side and see what it does. Weird. Let's see. That was it.